Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is Ship Updates. Now, of course, I'm sure as many of you have heard, Alexis Lesnick's father passed away last Saturday, and so her and Ben had to fly back out to the East Coast for the funeral and whatnot. And, Ben will be, of course, back next Friday, but of course, that meant that there wasn't much in the way of ship updates this week. Uh, he is the director of online engagement and ships, so he would really be the guy to ask ship questions to and get answers. And unfortunately, he wasn't here, so there really wasn't much in the way of updates this week. We did get some tidbits, though. We saw the Javelin escape pod on Around the Verse this week, which was cool, which was great. And we did hear a bit about how it looks like the Idris is more or less getting very close to done, and so people are shifting off of the Idris onto the Javelin. Now, of course, there's been a couple of comments now, I believe, on some of my videos in regards to why do people think that once Squadron 42 is done, that all of a sudden Star Citizen is going to accelerate and things are really going to speed up. And the reason why is because after Squadron 42 is done, what's going to happen is the next priority is Star Citizen. The next priority isn't the sequel to Squadron 42. The next priority is Star Citizen and getting Star Citizen done. And the reason why it's going to accelerate is because there are a literal crap ton of ships that we have, as of yet, not seen completed. We've seen some leaked shots here and there, but for the most part, there are so many ships, not only human ships, but Van Duel ships, all kinds of interiors, assets, things that are going to be used in Squadron 42, things that we have not seen yet. And so all the people who have been doing all this work quietly in the background that we have not seen, when all these people are freed up once Squadron 42 is off the docket, they're going to be able to do a lot more very, very quickly. 2016 is going to be a very, very big year for Star Citizen. Now, of course, if Squadron 42 is completed within 2016, we are probably going to see a bit of a ramp up period, and then things are really going to accelerate and we're going to start seeing ships boom, 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 boom. Whereas if Squadron 42 is delayed, it might take a little bit longer, and that would mean that 2016 would probably be kind of a rough year for Star Citizen, just because there's so much that is being completed behind the scenes that we just aren't allowed to see yet, because it would, in some people's minds, spoil the game or spoil the wow factor of playing Squadron 42. I think on the Piracy Show I'm going to kind of dig into that more. I'm just going to leave it as that for now. But yeah, of course it's going to accelerate. Once all these resources are free, the only thing left on the docket for sure is Star Citizen. And after that, the possibility of the sequels to Squadron 42, of course. More or less guaranteed, but you'd also think that a Black Widow movie in the MCU would be guaranteed, but apparently not. And like, why not, right? But really, there is one other thing, ship updates wise, and I guess I'm going to use this as an opportunity to kind of discuss this, even though technically, there really isn't that much in the way of ship updates this week, and so gotta kind of give you guys something. But so what I figured I would do is I would kind of explain why I'm constantly asking questions about ships. Now, during today's broadcast, of course, they answered one of my questions, and that was a question in regards to the Cutlass remodel. And I just was asking, has there been any progress on the Cutlass remodel? Any shots that we can see? Here, I'll just throw up a screenshot of the question itself. There, it should be on screen now. Possibly a ship shape segment in the future. Just that's what I was trying to ask about. And now I know that the Cutlass is a sensitive issue, and I know Lando's a fan of the Cutlass issues. But to Lando's credit, he did answer the question very succinctly that they weren't doing the Cutlass remodel right now. That he kind of held his hands close together. He said, right now we know this much about making ships. Later on, we're going to know this much. And he held his hands further apart. And that's when we're going to come back and do the Cutlass remodel. Right now, the priority is to get all the ships kind of in the game in some form or working state, I guess, and then come back and just give everything a full once over. Okay, reasonable, which is great. But there were some people in chat, and I mean, it's kind of funny to raise an issue about Twitch chat, because it is in Twitch chat, but people are going, oh, Cutlass complaining, so old and whatnot. The reason why I was asking about the Cutlass remodel is because I don't know if you guys remember these screenshots. Do you remember this? Or do you remember this? Now, these shots look kind of familiar. I mean, it almost looks like someone snapped these shots with their iPhone and then just like posted it on social media. Who could have done such a thing? I mean, it almost looks like they're saying that in fact there was a Cutlass remodel in progress at some point. But I mean, obviously these are leaked shots. I mean, these aren't official. Who would have ever told us that there was a Cutlass remodel in progress? Oh, right. Oh. So the question was, in effect, this has been apparently going on for a long time. Has there been any updates on this topic? Now, I'm not saying this to dig into Lando, because he is he's a community manager. That's what he does. He creates the shows, he engages with the community. It's not his job to follow ships, to follow every step in ship development. So the fact that he went out of his way to answer obviously a sensitive question like the Cutlass, which I know is a favorite topic of his, outright, I appreciate that a lot, and I don't expect him to have all the answers, and I'm fine with that. But honestly, when I'm asking this question about the Cutlass remodel, I'm in effect just asking about the Cutlass remodel. I'm not attacking Star Citizen, and even though there were the hilarious comments in chat like, oh my god, Cutlass complaining, so old, and it wasn't a Cutlass complaint. It was just a question because you guys, like, CIG had put out screenshots of a Cutlass remodel in progress, and then we hadn't heard anything since. So I was just saying, are you guys keeping it secret? I thought maybe, it's going to be in Squadron 42 at some point. We're going to land on a Vanduul ship and we're going to kill a bunch of Vanduul, sort of like they did in the Wing Commander movie. And I was just thinking, okay, so maybe they've got it all tucked away because that's going to be the ship that delivers us to the Vanduul ship. Maybe that, what's his name, Taggart, Gimli, John Rice Davies, is going to be flying that thing. He's going to, we're going to attach to a Vanduul ship and steal something off of a Vanduul ship or get some intel, whatever, yada, yada, yada. And maybe the reason why we haven't seen the Cutlass remodel in so long is because it's actually going to be a fixture in Squadron 42. So I had that theory, so I was just kind of hoping for a little bit of confirmation there. I wasn't digging into the whole Cutlass issue or the whole Cutlass controversy, whatever, because I mean, if you guys watched any of my videos, you know that I'm actually a fan of the Cutlass and not the Cutlass. I always have to kind of put in that qualifier. Do I think the Cutlass is the ship that was promised? No, I don't. But do I think the Cutlass is still a good ship? Yes, I do. It's just obviously there is a need for that other ship, which is why at the end of this month, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to get the Buccaneer. Boom, and that's going to be awesome. So I'm not attacking, I'm not attacking Star Citizen. And so I think what I'm going to definitely do with the piracy show, one of the topics that I am going to talk about is like why I've pledged so much money, more than I'm willing to admit, into Star Citizen, and why I'm so bullish on this game. And maybe I'm going to take a next few piracy shows and just kind of focus on things I think that are really right with Star Citizen, things that are really awesome, or possibly like just focus on a few ships that I think are real standouts that are really, really good ships. That would probably be a good idea. And I also want to take the moment to thank all the people who obviously, there are people who have either through the forums on the RSI website or here on my videos who have passed me compliments and just said, thanks for making all these videos. And I really do appreciate those compliments. I really, really do. And I'd also like to thank all the people who put negative comments on my videos. Yeah, thank you. Thank you oh so much for driving up the engagement levels of my videos, making sure that more people see them. Your help and your support, as always, is very appreciated. Thanks.
Quantum travel initiated.